Up to 18 degrees in the warmest spots. That could set off a few heavy showers. Hello, I'm Maryam Moshiri. You're watching The Context on BBC News.
The first flight has already left. There will be more flights this evening and into tomorrow. And all of that is only possible because of the hard work of lots of people behind me in the Foreign Office Crisis Centre.
The phone network often goes down, so it's not possible to give a running commentary on this, but we're taking the opportunity of this ceasefire to maximise the number of British nationals that we're evacuating.
We're moving naval assets within the region to assist with potential contingency off the coast of Port of Sudan.
Hello and a warm welcome to the programme. The first of the British transport planes have landed in Cyprus. It's the beginning of what is a mammoth operation, as there are thought to be up to 4,000 Britons in Sudan. Also coming up tonight, it's round two for Joe Biden. The US president has finally announced that he'll rerun for re-election in 2024. We'll have all the latest reaction and what that means for his biggest rival, Donald Trump. And we'll bring you the very latest shocking revelation on Iran's crackdown on protesters. The BBC has seen leaked documents that show Iran formed a secret committee to punish celebrities who backed protesters. But first, let's take you to Sudan. The latest evacuations by the UK and other countries have been possible today because of a ceasefire in the capital that seems to be holding out just. Some gunfire can be heard still, but people have been able to make their way out onto the streets for the first time in days. Our correspondent Andrew Harding has the very latest.
The earlier you can start focusing people on that, on the real record, better off Biden will be. Okay,
Larry Sabato and Joel Rubin, it's been a wonderful pleasure to have you both on the programme. Thank you for joining us on The Context on BBC News. Stay with us, plenty more to come on the BBC.
Download the BBC News app now and get the latest headlines as they happen. Personalise your app to learn more about the stories you care about and watch BBC News live wherever you are. Stay up to date, whatever you're up to. Download the BBC News app.
Hello, I'm Maryam Moshiri and you're watching The Context on BBC News. The BBC sees documents suggesting the Iranian regime targeted celebrities during anti-government protests last year. Hello again, more on that story in a moment, but first it's time for some sport, and for a full roundup from the BBC Sports Centre, here's Ollie Foster. Ollie.
Mariam, many thanks. Indeed, the football really does seem to be non-stop at the moment. A really busy week in the Premier League, a full round of fixtures.
Before we go, let's leave you with something a little bit different. It sounds like the start of a joke, but I promise you it's not. But a moose walked into a cinema in Alaska, tucking into popcorn and giving staff a fright. Take a look at this. Not your average cinema customer. Surveillance cameras at the Kenai Cinema captured the moment when the moose, it hasn't got any antlers though. It doesn't really look like a moose, does it? Maybe out of season, yes. Maybe its antlers dropped. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not a biologist. But anyway, at this moment, it entered the lobby and it started eating the popcorn. Heaven forbid. Sounds like something I would do, to be honest with you. Anyway, thank you for your company here on The Context. I'm back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. You'll stay with us on the BBC.
Hello there. It hasn't been too bad a day. We did start off with plenty of sunshine, but the clouds did build up. Where we get some sunshine, we could be up to 18 degrees in the warmest spots. That could set off a few heavy showers.
Hello everyone, I'm Maryam Moshiri. You're watching The Context on BBC News.
The first flight has already left. There will be more flights this evening and into tomorrow. And all of that is only possible because of the hard work of lots of people behind me in the Foreign Office Crisis Centre.
The phone network often goes down, so it's not possible to give a running commentary on this, but we're taking the opportunity of this ceasefire to maximise the number of British nationals that we're evacuating.
We're moving naval assets within the region to assist with potential contingency off the coast of Port of Sudan.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the programme. We have a lot more to come on that evacuation from Sudan, with the first flights carrying British passengers landing in Cyprus this evening. Joining us for the next hour is our panellist, first of all, writer and broadcaster Jenny Kleeman, and Edward Luce, US national editor and columnist for the Financial Times. Well, as well as Sudan, we have plenty more to get stuck into. For example, it's round two for Joe Biden. The US president has finally announced he's going to be running for re-election in 2024. We'll have all the reaction and what that means for his biggest rival, Donald Trump. And we'll bring you the very latest shocking revelation on Iran's crackdown on protesters. The BBC has seen leaked documents that show Iran formed a secret committee to punish celebrities who backed protesters. First, though, we go to Sudan, where a ceasefire has helped countries, including the UK, in evacuating more people from the war zone. Our correspondent Andrew Harding has the very latest from Sudan. OK, Maryam Marsh, Democratic Party strategist, it's so good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will hold you to that. I know that my producers recorded that little clip of you. We'll be playing it back at some point next year. Jenny and Edward, stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes here on The Context. Do stay with us here on the BBC. Plenty more to come, including more on that story about that celebrity list in Iran. Stay with us on the BBC.
Are you a raver?
Do I look like a raver?
I've got bass in a backpack. This is amazing.
Dancing for like 4 or 5 hours of a gig, you could generate about 800 kilowatt hours of thermal energy. So that's a lot of energy.
Right, so shall we give it a taste then? It's my favourite.
We're really talking to the plants, and they're telling us how happy they are.
It can fly, but it can also float on water.
The bots kick off with some swift striking.
Oh my God, that went by quick.
It's all about augmented reality.
Useful then, useful.
I scroll through the options with my finger here. Solar system, let's give that one a go. Totally and utterly immersed in another world there.
We've got to consider all of these things if we're going to avoid an apocalyptic fate.
But also excited.
The police have found us. I can't believe I'm now wanting to run away from the police. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Your Tech Update. Click, watch on BBC iPlayer.
Hello, I'm Maryam Moshiri. You're watching The Context on BBC News. The BBC sees documents suggesting the Iranian regime targeted celebrities during anti-government protests last year. We speak to an Iranian athlete. Hello and welcome back. Leaked documents seen by the BBC show Iran formed a secret committee last year to punish celebrities who backed the current anti-government protests. A letter disclosed a list of about 141 well-known figures and told the ministry to investigate their tax returns and take unspecified action against them. The list included football legend Ali Daei, as well as top actress Taraneh Ali Dosti, seen here without a headscarf and holding a sign bearing the protest slogan, "Women, Life, Freedom." She was later detained for doing this. Well, hundreds of people have died and thousands more have been detained in a violent crackdown by security forces, which have portrayed the protests as foreign-instigated riots. I spoke to Parham Gorbadi, who worked on the story for BBC Persian. I make no comment at all. Well, anyway, it's time for the end of the programme. Jenny Kleeman and Edward Luce, it's been so great to have you both on the programme. I thank you once again for taking the time to join us here on The Context. And thank you at home for watching. As always, you can go to the BBC's website for more on all the stories you've been watching here on The Context. But for me and the team here in London, thank you very much for your time. Stay with us on the BBC.
Hello there, I'm Ollie Foster with the latest from the BBC Sports Centre. We're going to start with football and tonight's three matches in the Premier League. Leeds and Leicester are currently heading towards a 1-1 draw at Ellen Road. That would be a result that would do neither side any real favours in their battle